What's up? So I have to start this off by saying, um, I do not wish any harm should come to any person because of their specific, ideology or beliefs, especially as it relates to, their sexual orientation or their sexuality, sexual preference, anything of that nature. Okay. But I want to get into this video today of a trans man and, a regular man, or what they call a cis man. Um, at a school board hearing addressing um, girls going into boy bathrooms and boys going into girl bathrooms and girls going into boy locker rooms and boys going into girl locker rooms. So let's just get into this clip and we'll break it down.
Now we're talking about this, and I've seen a lot of. So let me ask you. I have several questions. So we spent an hour talking about this. You have a teacher shortage, correct? Is there a teacher shortage? Open positions in the district?
We have some open positions.
You have some open positions.
Mhm.
Okay.
But we can't, also, I have to say, because
Okay.
this isn't agenda driven, we're not able to speak to you.
Okay. All right. So it's not agenda driven. Okay. So as far as I understand it, and some of the articles I'm reading, there's already a strained budget, right? Okay. As far as I understand it, why? And this will be a rhetorical question that you don't have to answer, but I want you to think about it.
Let me stop it there. Just looking at this person, it seems like something is mentally wrong. This is a bald headed person. They have like a purple hair strip glued on. It looks like that's glued on. I don't know if that's from the scalp and the rest of the head is shaved or whatever. It looks like someone just threw a piece of hair on this bald head. I don't know. It could be from the scalp and the rest is shaved, but this doesn't look like someone who's in their right state of mind.
Why is this such a roadblock? Why have we spent an hour discussing this? Especially, you say you care about students, but half of you are not sure what gender is, especially transgender. I know the lawyer said transsexual earlier. That's not the correct term. It's transgender. I'm a trans.
Half the people that are LGBTQIA don't even understand gender. They're always saying, oh, gender is a social construct and gender is not what you're born, it's what you identify with. They don't even understand it. You got some people, they can't even come to an agreement on how many genders there are within the LGBTQIA community alone. So who are you telling that they don't understand what gender is?
Gender woman, my pronouns are she, her, and I will only accept those pronouns.
So this is clearly a man, and he's saying that he's a transgender woman and his pronouns are she, her. This is ridiculous. And he's wondering why they've spent an hour talking about this bathroom situation and locker room situation.
I will not be addressed any other way. And in the workspace, I'm protected by that. Our students should be too.
That he got that right. In the workspace, the LGBTQIA, specifically the T. The T is a different situation than the other letters. But even they are protected, even though this is a mental illness. And I know in the DSM-5, it still was in the DSM-5, but they're trying to change the language surrounding transgenderism and whether or not, it's viewed that way. But the statistics manual for mental illness, it's had these in them, and that's what it is. So something is clearly wrong here. Clearly wrong, but let's continue.
Especially when they're not over 18, don't have a voice. So I'm just imploring you to go beyond what just really consider, what is this fight really about? Why is it such entrenched? I know we hear a lot about religious liberty, and quite honestly, I grew up in Christian education all through college. I don't remember any of my doctrinal classes mentioning only male and female, and that's the way it should be. If you feel it is, awesome, good. You get to believe that. You don't get to impose those beliefs on anybody else.
What? Is that the pot calling the kettle and the kettle calling the pot? What? This is exactly what you're doing. There's an agenda and you all are imposing it on everybody else. There's an LGBTQIA agenda that's being imposed on the whole world, regardless of what the other people's opinion is or what their religious beliefs are. It's being imposed on everyone. And now you're trying to push it into schools. And he just brought up male and female. That's sex. That's not gender. A simple solution to this problem would be making bathrooms and locker rooms sexual based on your sex. Then they can't make this argument about gender. Your sex is what you are born. That's scientific. That's not a social construct. You are either born male or female. And if you're intersex, that's something different. And the percentage on that is small. So if you want to have a bathroom for people who are intersex, then cool. That would be for like 0.1% of the population, 0.3% of the population. It's a very small number of people who are born intersex with things like Turner syndrome or Klinefelter syndrome and things like that, where they have XXXY chromosomes or XXX chromosomes and things of that nature. So then they should just make it sex-based. This is the male's bathroom. This is the female's bathroom. Someone like him would have to go into a male's bathroom. It's not about what you feel you are. It's about what you are scientifically inside. What are you? They try to change the two. They try to change gender and sex. I say they're the same. And if you look at the definition for terms like man, woman, girl, boy, a boy is an adolescent male. That connects the two. A girl is an adolescent female. A woman is an adult human female. A man is an adult human male, unless you're talking about mankind. So the two connect. The only difference is sex goes for any age group. So if a female is 9 years old or 29 or 59 years old, she's a female. But if a 9-year-old, you say girl. If a 29-year-old, you say woman. That's the only difference. See, the reason this is detrimental, because if you say, right, that transgenderism is a thing, then why is transracialism not a thing? I don't even need to play the rest of this video, do I? Why is transracialism not a thing? The main argument is, oh, these people have always been around. No, they have not. You cannot go back into African history, African culture. You cannot go back to any African civilization, the oldest civilizations, and find anything like this. You don't find this in Black culture. And then they try to say it was with the Native Americans because they had two-spirit people. No, they didn't. And you go back and look, they had two-spirit people. They didn't have anybody identifying as transgender. They had some people who they assigned male roles to, and they had some people who they assigned female roles to. And go back and look at the ways that they decided this. They would let 5-year-olds go into a tent, and they would either choose like a sewing kit or a bow and arrow. So if a boy went and chose, a sewing kit, they would say that he's a girl now. He's going to do girl roles in society. And if a girl went and picked up a bow and arrow, they're like, oh, she's a male. She's a man. She can hunt. It's not the same as transgenderism. So when you break all of this information down, tell people to give you sources and break this information down. They're lying. This is a predominantly Eurocentric concept. And the main argument that they have is, oh, we've seen a hike in it in the 21st century with more transgenderism now because they're more comfortable to say so. So then my argument would be, we have some transracial people coming out now, but 50 to 60 years from now or 80 years from now, you'll see more transracial people. This is a fairly new concept, so they're not as comfortable right now. So that's why you only see people like Rachel Dolezal or Nuka Zeus, or the lady that they had up in the college professor who was teaching African American studies, and she was white and she was identifying as black. We only have small amount of numbers right now because it's a new concept. They're not as comfortable. It's not accepted yet. No one accepts Rachel Dolezal's statement that she's transracial. So the same argument could go for that. These people display cognitive dissonance. They're not consistent with their thoughts and beliefs. If you accept this, you have to accept transracialism. But they know how detrimental it is. Those same people know how detrimental it would be to accept transracialism, but they don't see how detrimental it is to accept transgenderism.
And that's actually what religious liberty is that your right to believe that is protected, but the other person that identifies as something else is also is right to be protected. So I guess I'm here to say is, with Oshkosh Pride, we're paying attention. And we're going to be involved in this conversation if it keeps on going. But we've spent an hour on this conversation when clearly there are other issues on this agenda. There are other issues that we need to be doing for students in the area. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Laura Ackman.
Co-ed. I don't care how they identify or whatever kind of delusion people live in, whatever kind of mental disease that they have. Boys are boys and girls are girls. It's simple and basic. It's always been that way. And that's why we have separate bathrooms. I'm not going to allow my girls or my boys to shower with the opposite sex because I don't want them fondled or tainted by one of these deranged people sexually. And that's what lingers in these groups of homosexuality and transgenderism is sexually explicit ideology. My daughter goes to Franklin. She brought home books about how it's okay that two parents are gay in a household and it's okay for boys to be girls and girls to be boys. What kind of delusion are you guys living in? Are people really retarded? We're still having these talks? Like, well, what is going on here? Like, no, it's a word. I can use that if I want. Yes, I can. And I can't believe people are so open-minded. Their brains have literally fell out. Does nobody know why we had opposite sport teams and opposite bathrooms for boys and girls? To protect both sexes from one another. If they want to play some delusional game, we have to allow it. Then they should have their own bathroom and their own support, their own sports. It's as simple as that. They shouldn't.
So, I agree. I think it's a simple solution. All you have to do is have bathrooms for men, bathrooms for women, bathroom for transgender people. If you're going to do it, you should do it that way. Otherwise, like I said, just have bathrooms based on sex. Male bathroom, female bathroom. That's scientific. You can't say that that's some social construct, but that doesn't make sense, like I said, because race is a social construct. And I talk about that in my book. Johann Blumenbach and Carl Linnaeus, they created different racial groups. They were two racist Europeans who created racial groups in the 1700s. So if we're saying gender is a social construct, race is a social construct. So by that argument, people can identify with whatever race that they want to identify with. So people just have to make things make sense. There is no argument as to where you can defend transgenderism, but then you can't defend transracialism. They go in the same boat. So if you're going to say that male can identify as a woman, then that European can identify as a black person. No way to argue it. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, share the video. Let's think critically. Peace.